After the delivery of my son, which was an emergency situation, right away my health began to decline, and the hospital where I was at the time wasn't able to figure out what exactly the problem was. We knew that specialized care would be required, and that's when I was transferred to VGH. And when we arrived at VGH, I was already in a comatose state, and they were able to do 4 plasma exchanges, among other things, because there was a number of medical issues going on, including multiple organ failure, respiratory failure, liver failure, kidney failure, severe edema, and acute pancreatitis. And the combination of the treatment and the specialized understanding of this rare condition enabled the doctors to save my life, and that was the first time. The first contact I had when I woke up from the coma, it was in the middle of the night, and there was a nurse there, and she came over, and so we started to have a little bit of a conversation, and it was hard for me to speak, so I had to whisper to her, and I was asking her a few questions. And at one point I asked if I could see my baby or if I could leave, thinking, you know, this just looks like a random medical office and I could just walk out at any time. I really had no concept of how serious it was. And she took my hand and she said, "Honey, you're not going anywhere anytime soon. You're very sick." And as much as that was hard to hear in that moment, it's what I needed to hear in that moment. And I really appreciated everybody who came in contact with me, showed compassion, and I never felt like I lost my identity while I was at VGH. When it really turned around for me is unfortunately when I had another pancreatic attack, and that ended up being the catalyst for change. A CT scan at that time showed that there was something terribly wrong with my pancreas, and then it started to make sense why I was so sick, why I couldn't digest food, why I couldn't hold on to any weight, and I was referred to Dr. Byrne. He actually took the time to explain every single thing about the pancreas that I would need to know in managing my own care, made recommendations immediately on the first visit that made a huge difference inside of mere weeks, and he also ordered the diagnostic procedures that I needed to rule out cancer and to fine-tune the diagnosis. And he really became a hero for me, because after being sick for 1.5 years, I really thought that that's my life now. This is it. It's 1 hour out of the house a day, if I can even handle that, and really not even being able to look after my son and have a normal life or work or do anything that you take for granted. And he really did turn everything around for me, and I'll always be grateful to him for what he was able to do. It's incredibly valuable for VGH to have highly specialized equipment on hand. So in my case, when the endoscopic ultrasound was used, I was immediately reassured that the cause of my illness was not pancreatic cancer, which was a tremendous relief after 18 months of very serious illness and recovery. We want to make sure that we have that technology in place and in the hands of our talented doctors at VGH to allow more patients to receive the type of help that I have received. And your gift, it gives more than money to patients like me. It gives hope, it gives health and life, and there are no greater gifts. So thank you from the bottom of my heart for your support.